mm, 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 mm. She did the robot. She did the robot. Oh Lord.
Is that the robot?
Yes, it is. Yes. So.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm Tanya.
I'm Ebony.
And I'm Pearl. And
we are Juicebox.
Coming to you right now with our very first video talk show. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
What about you, T? Are you
I'm definitely excited.
PET, we're excited about this. Our very first talk show. We want to go ahead and introduce ourselves. I want y'all to look forward, you viewers, to look forward to what we have to come. We're about to introduce ourselves individually so you can know exactly who we are.
All right.
My name is Tanya,
Hey,
and I'm going to
Tanya.
share with you how come I am a part of this what will be amazing video talk show.
Right.
I decided because I feel like the need to talk about fun, interesting, and up close and personal topics. I am known and take interest in unraveling secrets. I strongly believe that people, perspective and perspective can change.
Exactly.
Are different views that hold value to people everyday life. With that being said, my need to talk is therapeutic. It brings forth awareness while my most accurate view is shared with the world through my eyes and my thoughts. Signed, My Truth.
My truth, she signed this
Tanya's
signature.
truth.
Well.
Yes.
Well, I'm Ebony. I am the realist. I accept any situation and pretty much deal with it accordingly. I don't try to change people, and I don't want anybody to change me. No, I don't want nobody to change me, and I definitely don't want. I am a lover of people's opinions, and I look forward to your opinions as I have my A. I like to debate. I don't live in a world of make-believe, and I am true to life. One thing about me is I'm comedic, I'm fun-loving, and I am a laid-back person, but I will adapt to my environment.
Okay, welcome, Ebony.
Welcome to me.
Yes, welcome. I'm so delighted to be sitting next to the both of you.
We love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, my name is Pearl, and I'm known as the empath. I am compassionate, sensitive, and I'm a soul that just deeply appreciates connection. I'm also very emotional and feeling oriented. Collectively, we're bringing Juicebox or sharing Juicebox with you because it's our desire just to engage in everyday conversation that sparks curiosity and builds connection through healthy banter, yet real perspectives, right?
Absolutely.
So as you heard, we have the talker in the house. Who stated that talking is therapeutic.
It is.
She will be bringing you facts and information from time to time. We have the realist in the house that says she appreciates your opinion,
Love it.
but she might not agree with it from time to time,
Probably
right?
won't. Probably won't.
And then you have me, the empath, who looks forward to expressing my feelings and emotions all the time.
Yep.
All right, y'all?
All right.
All right.
I'm
Welcome,
loving it.
ladies.
Welcome.
We also welcome our viewers. Today's first segment, we're going to come to you talking about a well-known topic. We're going to introduce this topic as breaking the silence of R.Kelly's hidden ways.
Oh.
So today we're going to talk and discuss a related topic that is
Hidden
certain
ways.
in our world we live in. This particular topic derives from an adult and underage children interaction in an unnatural, condescending way, including pornographic, sexual activities exchanged for pay, and also what I like to call a bait and switch tactic used to gain control over the minds of individuals who are inexperienced in certain areas. So, to catch everybody up to speed, Robert Kelly, aka known as R. Kelly, a known R&B singer, producer, and multi-instrumentalist who became what fans believe one of the best-selling rhythm and blues artists of the 1990s and early 21st century. As of today, R. Kelly is awaiting a 2-decade trial on various accusations for more than 20 years and lawsuits. Let me include per R. Kelly attorney Steve Greenberg, and R. Kelly has presumed innocent. He denies all claims relating to sexual assault, domestic violence, and sexual misconduct with minors. These claims include, but not limited to, over already 10 women who have came forward testifying that they in fact know R. Kelly. They have accompanied R. Kelly in his music and sexual activities when they were underage up into their adulthood. Now, these ages start as early as 12 years old. So my question today,
for the viewers.
So my question today for the viewers and my fellow cast, how does this affect individuals such as yourself, your family, and if you have children, your children? If he is found guilty, is justice served?
Wow.
If he is found not guilty, how does this affect the fans, the community, the victims, and the survivors? What are your thoughts, ladies?
Wow. That's something deep. It's deep. I would definitely say I'm a mother of two beautiful young girls, and I think me being a mother, I would probably say the women and the parents of the young ladies have acted accordingly. However, I don't know how I would have acted, because there's something that's very sensitive to me. Just knowing that someone can take something that I birthed, and even though they may have willingly went, or because they were so excited because it was R. Kelly, but yet and still, like, he manipulated them, according to them. And according to, becoming R. Kelly, surviving R. Kelly, they basically talked about it and talked about how they felt and what they had to deal with and what they had to endure. And I think about, me being a parent in their position, like their mom went out searching for them and looking for them. Even the mom had went out to the hotel and, she was calling her daughter, and they had somebody go up to the room and say, your mom is here, and she's telling them that she's coming downstairs, and she ended up not coming. So the mom is just like, what's really going on? I didn't travel all this way not to bring my daughter back home. And I think that's where I would have been too, in the place I would have taken, in that I would have definitely took some deep measures to try to get my daughter back. I mean, it's I can't even fathom, how I would deal with something like that. I can only say what I would do if I was in their shoes. But at the end of the day, it's heartbreaking. And you had asked another question.
If he's not found guilty.
If he's not found, wow. If he's not found guilty, so where does that leave the survivors? Where does that leave the victims? Like, their story wasn't heard. Does anybody believe them? Like, R. Kelly has lawyers fight for him. He has people still on his side. But what about the ones who they feel have been victimized, who they feel, were taken advantage of, were manipulated? They felt like, when they were talking about it, yeah, he was going to bring them to stardom. He was supposed to be giving them deals and working with them on their music and grooming them. And he was supposed to be their protege. But now it's like, they had fallen victim to his tactics. So it's like, where does that leave them? Where does that leave the victims of the families, of the families of the victims? How do you really deal with something like that? And it's just kind of hard to really put into perspective, about your feeling and how you would feel in that type of situation. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So
Definitely heartbreaking.
It is. And so, Tanya, you asked a multi-part question, like, how does this R. Kelly situation affect me? What will be the impact if he's guilty, and what will be the impact if he's not guilty? I'm not confident like I could sum that all up, but what I will share is like pieces of my opinion and why I derived at that opinion, and then some things that I'm curious about, right?
Right.
And so from my viewing of the Surviving R. Kelly Part 1 and Part 2 series on Lifetime, also from reading various articles in print and online, my opinion is that there seems to be some grain of truth in sexual misconduct and trauma perpetuated on girls and on women. Yeah. And so because of that, my heart and my energy is really resting with those individuals.
Yeah.
And I come to that conclusion because there just appears to be a pattern of behavior that has been demonstrated. And so again, that's how I formulate my opinion, is based on the pattern of behaviors of the stories that have been heard in the surviving R.Kelly, and also again based on reading various articles in print and online. And so the other piece that even makes me more curious, if there wasn't some vein of truth somewhere in this story, I'm just curious about why the mother of his children would come forth to also share pieces of her story. And that puts a question mark in my mind, is because as someone on a platform such as R.Kelly, he's very famous. So I speculate that his children are already being placed under significant scrutiny, and then to add another layer of scrutiny, I'm not sure as a mother that she would be wanting to put her children under that additional scrutiny if there wasn't something happening.
Right.
And so, you know, that's just some of the thoughts that I have. And then I just have, if he's not guilty, I would be just deeply, deeply disappointed in our system overall. Although R. Kelly is on trial, my vantage point is there's multiple people that are involved in this situation. Those that was on his staff, the record label. There was even attorney, according to some of the videos that I seen, there was even an attorney giving women payouts, you know, so they wouldn't share. So there's so much involved in this experience, this tragic experience from my vantage point, that it's not, there's multiple people that are to be held accountable, and there's multiple ruptures in our system, in our overall system, that allow this to happen. So if he is found guilty, from my vantage point, I think it would serve as a step for those that may have been victims or, you know, victims of R. Kelly. But again, it's just a piece. So I don't know if full justice will be served, but at least a piece of justice will be felt. But again, it's larger than R. Kelly. R. Kelly couldn't orchestrate this on his own. And there were many, many people in place potentially that allowed this to continue to happen. And there were many people that turned, you know, that didn't say anything. I think you shared with us, Tanya, that this happened for over 20, maybe 30 years. And so, again, we just, from my vantage point, from the seats that we sit in, right? So we're individuals in a city reading these things, but that also experience our environment and see injustices often. It seems from our vantage point that somewhere power, power and fame are, well, actually, let me reframe. Power and money are key factors that allow this to continue potentially continue. Again, these are allegations, potentially continue for so many years. So many years. And I'm heartbroken because, as Ebony shared, I'm also a mother of a daughter. Right. And then I also wonder about, as I shared, R. Kelly has daughters. So if his daughters were in the same situation that these allegations are being spewed about, how would he as a father respond? You know, so I just, that's
would he?
Or would he respond, right? Right. However, sometimes no action is also action, right? Or whatever. No response is also a form of response sometimes. But I'm just like, wow, I cannot imagine my 12-year-old daughter, because you said some of these potential victims were 12 years old on up. A 12-year-old being traumatized, potentially sexually manipulated mentally, and according to some of the allegations, abused physically. That just
Yeah.
that's just a deep level of pain to perpetuate
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
for generations.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So, we're wrapping this segment up. I'm just going to talk about the effects that I believe our fans and our community victims and survivors, in one word to sum it up, that word that comes to mind is hope. Each area lose hope. And when you think about all the things that we experience in a period of time in our existence, we have either learned to hope or we've already lost hope. So what is hope? Hope is a feeling of expectation and a desire for a certain thing to happen. So both parties, when awaiting, is in hope for the outcome of what we individually see justice as, and not for what it has been. So for me, if he is found not guilty, it will affect me by still seeing a system that controls and narrates who gives in a way unseen. And I just want to say to the women and the families that have already come forth and shared, the experiences that happened unto them, we just want to say that, our hearts and our thoughts are with you, and we just hope that starting one day that the healing process, if it has not already begun, that it will begin, and you will begin to enjoy life in its abundance. Because, although this is a tragic, these are tragic alleged events that happen, they are true and dear to each victim and survivor, and each parent that had spoke out and those that are silent. So, we thank you for sharing your opinions. We thank you, viewers, for watching.
Yeah, this was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have to pause on that one. I mean, this R.Kelly situation, it deeply saddens me. That's all. That's really the only words that I can find.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I just hope whatever the outcome is, that justice is served. So,
and that justice will be guilty.
That justice is served. Yeah. That justice is served.
Either way.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the outcome is, it's just what I hope is flaws within our system. I hope they continue to be illuminated. And then I hope some additional direct action could be put in place to help course correct in the future.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And speaking of our future, I want to share a little bit about our past, right? So we are actually recording this video on February 1st. And so, our first video recording on February 1st, 2020. Just want to make note of that.
Nice.
But I just also want to call out that also on February 1st, 60 years ago, 4 African-American college students quietly sat down at a whites-only Woolworths counter in Greensboro, North Carolina, and waited. They kept waiting despite receiving no service and requests to leave. And this is reported by CNN. So the Greensboro sit-ins were a series of nonviolent protests in Greensboro, North Carolina back in the 60s, which led to the Woolworth department store chain removing its policy of racial segregation in the southern United States. So because action was taken, the point I'm trying to make here is because individuals step forward to take some action, there has been a new different outcome in the future in which we reside, or I should say the present in which we reside now. So tying it back to the R.Kelly, again, I hope we learn from this entire situation, regardless of the outcome, so we can take new action to ensure a different future.
That is awesome.
Absolutely. And that about wraps it up.
First African American history moment February 1st, the first day of African American History Month.
Tune back in.
Tune in. So we definitely thank you again for viewing our our video talk show. Make sure you go in and comment or like and subscribe to Juicebox Convo.